Hello, welcome back to Fred in the Shed. We're back up in the Radio Shack. Another radio type video for you this time. Now, a few weeks ago, if you subscribe to the channel, you remember we looked at this video player made by Sansui, came in from Banggood. And the main attraction to me was the price. With my discount, it was just 30 UK pounds, which I thought was absolutely remarkable. 7-inch screen with a 3-band radio, medium wave, FM and shortwave on the broadcast band. And some of you reached out and said, Fred, I actually chose the smaller version. You need to have a look at that because the screen on the smaller version is smaller. It's 4.3 inches and it's even sharper than the 7-inch screen on the bigger model. So that's what I thought I'd do for this video. This is the F50. And in effect, it's just a smaller, more portable video player than the big brother. Again, price is extremely keen. It's about the same price. I think they've got the price down to a point where they just can't make it any cheaper. So with my discount code, which will be in the description, about £30. I think it's about £34 full price, plus a couple of quid post and packaging. So it's still incredibly cheap. Being a more portable unit, obviously pretty much half the size. Again, really good for the kids, I think. As you can see, I've got a Lego video or Marvel video playing on it right now. And I think going on holiday or something with the kids, I know kids have got mobile phones nowadays, but playing video on your mobile phone, it will spank the batteries. It will knock the batteries out. This radio has the same 3 18650 batteries than the big one's got, but because it's smaller, it's got a smaller screen, it's got an extra 2 hours battery life, so you can get, they reckon, up to 8 hours video playback, which is quite remarkable. That should keep the kids well amused even on a very long holiday trip. Because they are 18650 cells, they're removable of course, so when these batteries deplete you can just put in a fresh set. And the batteries that you get with the unit are genuine Sansui branded as well, which I think is really good at this price point. Now, when I tested the bigger brother on the FM, I did have a little sort of background hiss, which was unfortunate, and I couldn't lose. A few of you bought this radio from my video, and you said, Fred, mine's absolutely fine. And I'm pleased to say, because I have played with this, that the FM on this radio, we'll have a look at it later, but the FM on this radio again is absolutely crystal clear. There was no hiss, so it just obviously affected that one model that I had in for review. Just a bit of bad luck really on my behalf. So this is the menu system that you get when you first get the unit out of the box. So we need to change this into English. Fairly easy really. Most of these symbols are pretty obvious: MP3, video, pictures, ebooks, files and settings. Again, we haven't got a touch screen, so we do have to use directional arrows, which is a little bit old hat, but it does work. Now the one we want is, and I found this by trial and error, is the second one up from the bottom there. We just need to enter that, and then we can see that we have an English option. And there we go, change that to English. Brilliant. So now we have everything in English. Now it is quite basic, the menu system, I will give you that, but again, if you was aiming maybe to give this to children, and bearing in mind there's no Wi-Fi or internet browser, so you haven't got to worry about what they're going to be looking at, which is a worry nowadays. I mean, everything here is self-explanatory really. Can use it as a photo viewer, can use it as an ebook reader. Personally I prefer a Kindle file browser. So we go ahead now, we'll open video. No internal hard drive obviously, so everything you see is what is on the little TF card. Again, using the up and down keys here. So we'll open one of mine because otherwise I'll get hit with a copyright strike. So this is a Fred video.
Hello, welcome back to Fred in the Shed. Firstly, I want to apologise to regular subscribers because you would have seen a lot of the content of this video before.
Just hit pause there. Now, because I'm obviously videoing it on a video camera, I'm looking at the monitor. It does look a little bit washed out on the monitor, but it's not. Because we've got this smaller 4.3-inch screen, it looks exceptionally sharp. It does look like full HD. Now, when it comes down to the screen, and this is the same restriction as the previous model, it does claim to support 1080p. However, I have downloaded 1080p, and I found exactly the same with the previous model, that some videos will play no problem, but some videos will pause and stop playing after a few minutes, and I think that's just down to probably processor or memory power. Like the previous model, I found this video player works exceptionally well with 720p, and that's what I've downloaded in. And on this screen, as I say, I know it's probably not coming out the best on the camera, but it is absolutely pin sharp. I can read the frequency display on that crankshank very, very easy, even some of the buttons there on my Yaesu radio. So very, very sharp screen. Now, when it comes down to downloading your video, on the last video I'd made, I was using Video Studio, but I found that stopped working. That was missing codec files. So I'm now using DVD Video Soft, which is a free program, and that allows you to download, I think, YouTube videos up to about 10 minutes on the free program. And then if you buy it, and I did buy it, and I think it was about 18 euros or something, you can then download much longer video files, and also you could convert them to MP3 for getting audio books and things off YouTube. Once you start your video,
but I just wanted to make a short video here because a little while ago I made,
and these controls, by the way, these little pots up here are nicely stepped. They feel really, really good. So obviously the video control is very, very simple. Play, pause. Kids would have no trouble with this, and then you've got forward and back to get to the next video track, or if you hold these down it goes into fast search and you don't need to hold your finger on the button itself. Let's just see if it remembers where you were in the middle of a track. So for example, if we go to FM, just switch on the radio, and then we go back to the video player. It plays this little introduction video every time. It does get a bit repetitive, I must admit. Oh, every time you have to watch that. So I'm just going to wonder if we go back now to video. Just telling me I've got a card in there, that's fine. Oh, it's going to play automatically.
Interesting. So what I'm going to do...
There you go, yeah.
Is we're going to set the scan rate again. So
that's good. So you can pause it, go and listen to the radio, you know, go and have a cup of coffee, whatever, and when you come back to it, it remembers where you are. Let's just try another video. I'm feeling if we go to another video, it will forget. So if we press, this is that. Let me dim the lights down. I'll probably have to kill the audio because of copyright, but let's just dim the lights down. Just have a quick look at the FM radio up in the shack. One thing I like about these models is that when you switch to the radio, the screen automatically shuts down. So that not only saves you battery life, but also any RF interference that you might get on shortwave from running the LCD screen. Now, when you get to the tuner here, simple VFO. Yeah, I mean, you could get another digit on the display, I guess. It is a little bit basic, but it does work. So you've got a simple tuning there. And another feature which is passed over from the bigger model, again, it has auto seek and memory store. So for example, now if I just press the FM button and hold it down, this now scans the band and it will automatically stop and it will put these stations into the memory preset, and it will do that every time you press the FM scan. It's not the quickest scanner, is it? But seems to be working, and it's finding pretty decent stations up here. It's also sometimes a little bit difficult because of the camera equipment. It interferes. You can do it better manually, I expect. There we go. Let's just see what we've got. So I think I'll hold down FM to stop the scan. And then now, oh, there we go. So we've got all of these channels. So let's go back to channel 1. Let's just turn the volume up and let's see what we got. No real bass on the speaker. No real bass. Again, there's no tone control or EQ settings that I can find. But it sounds quite nice and clear. Goes loud.
At the museums.
So we are really fortunate at the Museum and Gallery in the city centre to have 2 beautiful spaces, one being our wonderful assembly room, and I
do like more traditional styles, like cane rows or variations of cane rows, where the hair is braided to the scalp.
I'm so scared. Because this is a genuine...
No. It's a tough quiz, and you got 3 points.
So even with that basic scan, and I stopped it before it got to the end of the band there. Even that basic scan, it's picked up quite a few stations, and I do get interference up in the shack. Just going to take it downstairs now, and we'll do the medium wave, and then we'll have a quick look at what we get on shortwave. Just broadcast band, of course, you know, no side band or anything like that.
Today's race at Aintree, the 13-year-old collapsed after being pulled up during the race. You're listening to 5 Live Sport. There's commentary to come this evening.
आपको दिला सकता है 110.14 Indian rupees, 359.2 Pakistani rupees, 91.7 Afghan.
6 or 7 players that can be rotated at will, and is incredibly strong.
He is the Lord. And the Lord has made a covenant with his people, and by his grace, that includes me. Therefore, I can know and believe that God is for me.
Le responsable de vente d'un téléinvestisseur qui explique l'usage d'un produit à un client.
Слово сегодня. 纸 много. Малин, у тебя есть свобода?
听见中国，用心灵感念故乡。theo quyết định điều điểm, thuyền thì hai hòa hòa chốt.
የሚታወቀው ወደ ወረደ የክልሉ ዲፋክቶ መሪ ሆኖ ነው የቆየው። ትግሉ ላይ ለአመታት የቆየ
طريق تقطير نبيذ العنب تقل سعتها عن 200 لتر وتستخدم كسلة.
Tariff policy could lead to a quote self-induced economic nuclear war. Strong words from Bill Ackman there. And even Elon Musk.
Del Bayern de Múnich, Inter de Milán, de aquí sale al hipotético rival del Barça en semifinales. Juegan.
He had left the door ajar, and now everyone's startled as 2 strangers entered from the veranda. A teenage boy with a backpack said, "Uptime! He's the piece of shit who killed my father!" Hesitating for a moment, but then closing the door behind her, the woman with the kid said, "The crazy fuck has a church basement full of corpses in Zippora."
He does as well, because I've listened to the book. Okay, let's bring this one to a conclusion then. Once again, like the bigger model with the 7-inch screen, I think these are just great value for money. And I did get some comments on the previous video from, let's say, younger people, Generation Zs or whatever they call themselves. And they said, Fred, you know, like your videos, mate, but Fred, what's the point? You know, it's 20 years out of date. I just watch video on my phone. If it hasn't got an internet browser, Fred, it's a waste of time. But that's the whole point of this, because there are going to be circumstances, if like me, you go to remote locations for your holiday to get away from everything, that you're not going to have reliable internet. And even if you go to a modern hotel or certainly a cruise ship or a river cruise, you more likely going to get charged per gigabyte of data for downloading. So you're sitting there watching videos, at the end of it, along with your bar bill, you're going to get a nice big internet bill. So yeah, it has its uses. It's completely offline. And I think really, if you've got young children or grandchildren, and you don't really want them loose on a mobile phone nowadays with everything that's on the internet, you want to know what they're looking at, really. So again, something like this on a holiday trip, you could buy 1 or 2 of these, load up the TF card. Now I've put 128 gig TF card in this, and because the video files are only 720p, I think the longest one, which was that Batman one, was only like 130 megabytes or something. So I mean, you're going to get, oh god, I don't know, weeks of video on there on 128 gig. And I think that's the thing, you can just load this up and you know that your kids are safe, they're not connected to the internet, and I think you'll keep them amused on a long trip. That's what I think anyway. Let me know what you think in the comments. So there it is. This came in from Banggood, and thank you very much for them for supporting the channel. As always, there'll be a link in the description. Full price is currently £34. I normally get a discount from Banggood because I've been working for them for a long time now. If there is a discount code, and there should be, it'll be in the description. Hopefully bring it below £30 plus a couple of quid postage if you don't spend over 40 quid. So I mean, yeah, cheap as chips. Check it out if you want to find out more details. But that's it from me. As always, I would like to thank you guys for watching my videos. I'm still a small channel. I don't get many views per video, so I appreciate every one of you. Cheers, thank you very much. And finally, as always, please, please, please look after each other for me. Stay safe, and of course, I'll catch you on the next video. Cheers, guys.
Never have chosen to walk.
If you've been walking with Jesus, you know it to be true that when life is at its hardest, when we feel crushed and close to despair, that's exactly the time when our faith grows in God, and it's based on the book of Ruth. If you ever miss one of the series, do come to our website. You can catch up or go back and listen again to any of the broadcasts which have already gone out on air. You can also find Pastor Colin's messages as a podcast, and those are on all the main podcast sites. Search for Open the Bible UK.
Fred's in the shed where the magic unfolds. Fred in the shed with his trusty CB. He's a friend to the lonely on a frequency.